Good evening, everybody. I'm Kath Lloyd from Make the Change, and it's Wednesday night and it's Let's Talk. And tonight we're going to be talking about taking the stress out of goal setting. Now, there's a lot, if you look online, there's a lot of conversation about goal setting. I've been teaching it for many years, and there's it's the way it's talked about. It can make it feel or sound very complicated, and I must admit that when I was teaching it, I'm afraid I was one of those people that made it sound perhaps a lot more complicated and hard work than it actually is. But first of all, it's sort of why do we set goals? Well, all through our life, all through our day, wherever we are at our life, we're always going to be wanting to change things, adjust them, improve them, develop them. And, it's about how do you do it? How do you set your system in place? Okay. And a lot of the time we do a lot of jiggling about, and we're not really thinking about, how we're doing it or why we're doing it. We just get on with it until we want to do something that is huge, okay, or we want something quite different. So it might be around something like just getting through the day. How do you want to feel differently in an hour, or by the end of the day, or to tomorrow? Is it about achieving a target at work? Is it about building and maintaining a multi-million pound business? So this is going to be different for everybody. And if you're going for the big, multi-million pound business, then your goal setting is going to be a little bit different to if you just want to get through the next hour without breaking down and crying. So this is quite a general overview of goal setting, okay? And yes, you need to be smart about it. And, you can look at this anywhere on the internet, so SMART stands for you've got to be specific, it's got to be measurable, it's got to be action orientated, it's got to be realistic, and it's got to be time bound or target driven. There's going to be little variations of that, and I know that just from talking to people over the years, they've got those variations from the work that, or the training that they did, and how it fitted into what they were having the training for. So but the big thing is the why. Why do you want something different? Is this because you want the status? Is this because you want to achieve the money? Is this because you just want to feel something or think something or behave differently? Is it because you want to achieve something personal to yourself rather than it being money orientated? So it might be about running that marathon. So it's really connecting with the why. Why do you want to do it? Because if you know why you want to do it, it's going to make the whole process a lot easier for you. So is it about the relationship that you want? Is it about the feelings that you want from that relationship? Is it about your holidays? Is it about your hobbies, a better home life, a better work life? All of these different things. And just saying that I want to feel different isn't really going to cut it. And, that is why you've got to put your hand on your heart and really dig deep and think about where is the why? What is the why? Because once you've got the why, once you've got that answer, you are going to start, like all of the things that I've been taught by all my mentors and all my coaches is start with your end in mind. So if you know your why, you can work backwards. Okay. Now, to all you teachers out there, And of course, I've come from a teaching background again. Your whole work life is geared around your goals and your aims and objectives for, you know, for the course, for the term, for the week, for each individual lesson. And this will be about, you know, what's the main aim? And this is exactly what you're going to be doing with your goal setting. What is the aim for you with this goal? And then it's talking about the objectives. So from having this aim or having this goal, what am I going to be learning along the way? Or what am I going to be achieving along the way? You know, all of this depends on what your end goal is to start with. And again, it's understanding your why. But being able to answer all of these questions means you get a better understanding of why you want to reach that end goal. So is it about your weight? Is it about your health? Is it about running that marathon? Is it about being able to pay the next bill? Is it about being able to wake up tomorrow morning and feel happier inside? Okay, so the why is one of the most important things that you can do to help you set your goal. And write it down so that you remember. Or, you know, and it may be that, you know, after you've written it down, you've gone away and cooked the tea, or done the ironing, or walked the dog, and then while you're doing that task you might think of something actually better for yourself, in which case you can go back and adjust it. And if you've got it written down to start with, you can start comparing your ideas, how they're changing, if they're evolving in the right direction for what it is that you really want to be changing, you know, in your life right now, or for next week, or for a year's time, or for, you know, 10 years time. So I have sort of, yes, you've got your SMART objectives, and those are really, really important. But also, you know, you have got a few rules that you've got to follow, I'm afraid, while you are thinking about the goals that you want, because you can only set goals for you. You can't set goals for anybody else. So say if, for example, you are struggling with a relationship with somebody at work. Okay, and, you know, perhaps it's a communication breakdown, or they have started to say things that don't sit very well with you, that you find upsetting, or their behaviour is upsetting the balance in the workplace. Okay, well, you know, unfortunately, you can't change that person. You can't change what they say, and you can't change their behaviour. You can talk to them about it and say you're not happy about the way, you know, the words that they're using, or the behaviour that they are displaying. But this is where it's about understanding you and understanding your why, because we all have choices. We have choices about how we react to those comments and how we react to those behaviours. And so a reaction, which I've just talked about, is perhaps, you know, a choice to go and speak to that person about, you know, what they're saying, or, you know, their behaviour to you and other people in the workplace. And so, you know, the goal that you're trying to create is about you. What you want. I will have. You know, these are the phrases that you should be using with yourself. I will have this feeling. So in an hour, I will be feeling happier. In a week, I will have reached that target at work. In a year's time, my business will be earning so much money. In 3 years, I will have saved the right amount of money, and I will be going on that holiday of a lifetime. Okay, so, you know, this is, you know, the language that you use is about what you know, it's about how you're tapping into your subconscious to make it sink in so that you can use it. Okay, So I've jumped a little bit ahead as I've been talking about this. Okay, so it's about making it personal to you. Okay, so I'm going to use a little acronym here of goals. Okay, so G is about being grounded with your goal or your aim in mind. Okay, but also, you know, being grounded is also about being able to grow. Okay, so you've got somewhere to keep moving on to, because what we're aiming for when we are setting goals and working with those goals is, as you can see that you're approaching that goal, that you can start thinking about the next goal. So perhaps if your goal is, in an hour I will be feeling this, you know, as you are approaching the end of that hour, you'll be starting to feel these new feelings that you are, you know, that you've been aiming and working towards. And then it'll be, well, I've been able to have this feeling for an hour, which is making me feel so much better, so much happier, so much more content and peaceful, that I'm going to grow this now, this feeling now, so that I can feel like that when I wake up in the morning. Does that make sense? I hope so. So your O is going to be about be open. Okay. Because sometimes, you know, we can get very fixed in what we're aiming towards, and sometimes we can lose, we can be so focused that we can lose taking in different vibes, different ideas that are coming from other people. So it's about being open, okay, so you can continue to develop that growth even more. A is about being authentic, okay, because, you know, if you can be authentic, okay, so this is now tapping into what's going on in your heart, tapping into what's going on in your head. Okay, it is going to be so much easier, because if we're trying to be somebody that we're not, or that isn't, we're trying to reach something that isn't sitting well, say, with our values, then it is going to make it so much hard work, because it's not going to be easy for us to convert to somebody else, or to be like somebody else or something else. Okay, so yeah, it's about being authentic. So it's accepting your own trends in your personality. It's about accepting, you know, past experiences, past belief systems, all of these different sorts of things, okay, and about working with those so that you can grow and develop and keep working towards your why. Okay, so yes, we've got to accept all that stuff that has come before, so that we can go, okay, I accept that, I'm going to put closure on that, and now I'm going to move in this direction towards my why, towards my end goal. Okay. L is for love what you're doing. Okay, because if you love what you're doing, it's going to make you feel a lot more alive, it's going to help you connect with it a lot better, and so you're going to fight for, you're going to have a stronger energy, and you'll be able to fight for what you are aiming for a lot more easily. Perhaps fight is a strong word, and perhaps goes against, you know, the love, all right? But, you know, if we want something really badly, we will fight for it, and we will keep going for it. So if you really want to change those negative feelings that you've got, then you've got to really work hard. You've got to fight for the feelings that you do want, okay? It can be sometimes, you know, when we talk about thoughts and feelings, you know, if you are walking against the traffic, say in the rush hour, you imagine that, you know, everybody's walking in that direction to go to work and you've got to go in that direction. It is a bit of a fight and it is a bit of a battle, but it's about being strong and being determined and being able to keep going when it is hard going. And so this is why, you know, the love of what you want to be aiming for is so important, because it'll help you, give you that drive and that energy so that you can keep going. And then the S, which is the final one, is shine. You know, the systems that you're going to put in place to help you reach that end goal will help you shine. Okay, and make sure that you are seeing this love and this shining coming through, this sunshine that's coming through, because that will encourage you to keep going. It'll keep encouraging you when things aren't great, when the tough is tough, when you are losing lack of love and lack of energy and lack of drive. You know, when you're tired and you're fed up and you got soaking wet waiting for the bus, or the car broke down, or whatever the situation has been during your day that might put you off balance. And you know, that is absolutely normal, because even people with the strongest drive for the, you know, the biggest goals, they're going to have their days when, you know, they can't be bothered, when they just want to put it on the back burner and to default back into their old habit. Because, you know, this is the thing. It's about, you know, working towards different goals, whether it's about your thoughts and your feelings and behaviour, whether it's about your marathon, whether it's about your multi-million-pound business, okay? It is about creating different habits, new habits, more exciting habits, and that is going to be difficult to get used to sometimes, because, you know, you're going to be having to think in a different way. You might have to be, you know, doing different actions. You're going to be pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, which on some days, you know, when you're tired, you know, when you've had a rough day at the office, or the kids have driven you mad because it's pouring with rain outside, and, you know, they're kicking around the house and they don't know what to do with themselves. You know, it's on days like this that you need to go back to your goal, refresh, you know, what it is that you're aiming for, and to renew that love and energy so that you can keep going and reach that beautiful sunshine when you reach your goal. So, my one top tip for taking the stress out of your goal setting is understand your why. Why do you want it? What's the purpose of it? What are the higher benefits of having that end goal in your life? Why is it important to you to feel happier, to feel more content, to reach that target, to have that multi-million-pound business, to cross the finish line, you know, on the marathon? Why is it so important? What is it doing in here, in your heart, and how is that connecting with your values in your life? So, on that note, good luck with your goals. Good luck with setting your goals. Keep the energy flowing, keep the love flowing, be authentic, keep an open mind, and also keep the growth, and be grounded and reach that sunshine at the end. And have a lovely evening, have a great week, and I'll speak to you again next Wednesday at 8 o'clock for Let's Talk. Bye bye now.